Boys, let's be honest, right? FC26 feels awful right now. People are leaving the game and it feels like a pain to play. I do get that, right? But hear me out, okay? Despite all the inconsistent gameplay and all the bugs, I still think this is one of the best FIFA games we've had in years, right? Now, again, hear me out. The game is not perfect. I'm going to delve into that today. Don't worry about it, okay? But I really do think you can still have a lot of fun on this game if you just play it properly. I want to talk about why the game feels so bad, why you're not enjoying it. But most importantly, I want to talk about the one thing that if EA just change, and again, it depends on them, right? But if EA do change this one thing, it could completely change how you feel about FC26. I bring the game back to like a really high number of players coming back to the game. And again, like I say, being one of the best FIFA games in years. So let's jump into it, okay? I'm going to put some gameplay on screen, which I played today. I wanted to play a game before I started this video, just to make sure I wasn't being biased, because I've not played a game in the last few days. And I still enjoyed it, right? You're going to see in the game, look what happens, right? It's an interesting game. There's some awful stuff happens, and I get some like luck on my side, a bit of everything, right? But it just outlines. I think you can enjoy this game, win or lose on the gameplay, but it's not just the gameplay as well. Right, gameplay isn't perfect. It is not perfect whatsoever, but it is still, in my opinion, the best it has been in years, right? Just go back and jump on one game of FC25 right now. You can still find game on the servers, right? You can still actually match people online. Go and play a game of FC25 and then come back to FC26. This game genuinely isn't awful. It's one of the better gameplay experiences we've had in years. Hear me out. I'm going to jump into the issues, I promise. Yes, AI defending still needs nerfs, okay? You will see a load in this gameplay on screen. You'll see a load of AI tackles and attackers being able to intercept the ball when they shouldn't. I do get it, right? And again, when I jump into that 1 point later, you will see, I understand. But there's always trade-offs when it comes to an FC game, right? You're never going to get a perfect FC game. Just do remember that, right? Because when you are younger and you were playing FIFA 14, 15, 16, 17, it's not that the gameplay was perfect. It's not that everything was really fun and upbeat and, you know, it was a perfect game. It was that we were younger as people when we were playing as well. So maybe the game was better. I'm not getting into that, right? Whether you want to compare this to like FIFA 17 gameplay. But just know you were younger, so you were more carefree and you were enjoying the game more. But yes, I do get, when we're talking about gameplay, there's a lot of stuff that needs changing. AI defending for me is a big one. And there's some other stuff like animations, servers we're going to jump into as well can be awful. And that obviously affects gameplay. And I do think there is a solution forward for EA. That we can get to a point where everyone's enjoying it again. But what I want to say, you know, most of all is that just know this genuinely is one of the better gameplay experiences we've had in years. Now, I can't tell you that and force you to believe it. I'm saying that is, of course, my opinion. But I've gone back and checked gameplay from last year and the year before and compared them. And I really do believe that is the case. And even more importantly than that is you have to understand that FC or FIFA, whatever, is a competitive game. There are two types of games, in my opinion. There are casual games and competitive games. And a competitive game, you get the fun and the dopamine from getting better at the game, grinding and winning, right? It's like an addiction. You want to keep playing it, right? Take like, you know, any other game, Minecraft, even Ark Raiders, although people disagree. That's out right now, and I think that's more casual. It's more of a casual gaming experience. FIFA is like COD. They are games you enjoy because you grind them and you get better and you feel a sense of progress. Now, what does that mean when you have a competitive game? It means the fun is not the same in terms of how you would get it from other games. You're not going to play FC26, as sad as it is, and just feel constant like amazement. Oh my God, this is a gaming experience and I'm loving it. Which is funny, right? Because you play a lot, pay a lot for this game. You want to play it and you want to enjoy it. And I wish that was the case, but it's not that type of game, right? You guys will know I'm a trader on this account more than like a gameplay guy. A lot of you guys hate traders. I get that, but I'm a trader, right? I get a lot of like enjoyment from the menus and making coins and getting to use the players I like. But just actually playing the game, a lot of the enjoyment will come from the grinding and the leveling up, getting better aspect. And that is obviously Weekend League to a T. If you focus yourself on what I've just said, on that competitive aspect, which 90% of you guys will, I do it all the time, right? I do it all the time. You're going to overlook the most important or most fun parts of the game, which I want to jump into, that so many people overlook. We've been asking for stuff like it for years. And loads of people overlook it for almost no reason whatsoever. Right, if we jump over into the play tab, we have got two things, right? We have got the Silver Superstars League, which of course is only out for like 1 week of every season, but also the Gauntlet as well in live events. I believe the Gauntlet is here. I don't actually know where the Gauntlet is at the minute. Maybe it's not out right now, given the fact I've not played the game in a while, right? But there you go, Ultimate Gauntlet 5, right? And I know a lot of you guys have issues with Gauntlet and Silver Tournament as well, and that's to do with the point later on, the main #1 issue. But anyway, Gauntlet and Silver Tournament are perfect in terms of what we asked for, right? Imagine last year, we were asking for a game modes that are more casual, being able to use different players, different squads. Silver Tournament and Gauntlet are exactly that. This Silver Tournament, whether you enjoy it or not, is been designed perfectly to just let you use different fun squads. And by the way, look at the rewards for the Silver Tournament, okay? The silver tournament rewards are better rewards than what you will get from this weekend league if you play it, right? Imagine saying that last year when everything was so rivals and champs heavy. Doesn't mean it's perfect. We can get into the issues, but imagine that last year, okay? When it was so champs heavy, so rivals heavy, getting better rewards from using a silver squad. That is unbelievable. Some of the Gauntlet rewards we have seen this year, if we hop over to Gauntlet, has been amazing, right? The Gauntlet rewards, like, for example, do you remember the Benzema card and all the rewards we got with that Gauntlet? Imagine that last year. It's just a new way to play the game. Now, a lot of people have issues with matchmaking on Gauntlet and the silver tournament. It's too sweaty, different things like that. And I do get it, but boys, that's never going to disappear in like an FC game, right? It's never going to disappear to the point where you're going to go into a game and win 10-0 and, you know, have a really fun experience, because otherwise there'll be someone on the other end of that losing 10-0. It has to be a little bit competitive. I do get that. But you don't need to win these games. Gauntlet, especially, for the most part, has been super, super forgiving in terms of how many games you need to win and getting the rewards. It has been so, so easy for a majority of the player base, right? If you're new to the game and you struggle, I do get that. But it's been so easy for a majority of the player base that getting the rewards for, you know, tournaments like this and using new cards is such a fun experience. And imagine, right? Try and picture for a second. Imagine FC 26 without Gauntlet, without Silver Tournament, and without live events. Imagine it was just champs, rush, squad battles, and rivals. I think the game would have just been done already. Like, it's already in a little bit of an awful state heading into Black Friday. But I think the game would have just been done. I think them game modes alone have added a little bit of a boost this year to the players you can use, the rewards, the squads. It makes the game more fun. And not only that, I think this year's menus has been one of the better ones we've had this early on in the game. And I know you might disagree. Let me just walk you through my thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below what you think, right? I know there's going to be a lot in this video that so many of you boys disagree with, and I just want to hear you out and see what you boys have to say. But I genuinely think the menu grind, from what I've seen, has been amazing. We've got so many hero and icon packs, which again, they can affect the market. But in terms of having stuff to craft towards, I think it's great, right? Most people's complaint is not enough fodder. But boys, they have tried so much with this. And I don't want to, you know, seem like I'm speaking like as an EA employee and I'm sprouting it. And I do get it. It could come across like that. But the daily commons, the daily golds, the daily silvers, we have got league SBCs, we have got player upgrades, we have got pack upgrades. Of course, we'd love a little player pick as a little thing from EA, but whatever. Marquee matchups is standard. We've got now these new continental upgrades, and it all helps build fodder. You get a lot of fodder from Gauntlet and Silver Tournament, and I know that not everyone plays those game modes, but they are there, and you get a lot of fodder from them. And look at how much stuff you can craft, right? I do think there's issues with the menus, and I'll talk about that as well, I do promise. But Park Ji-sung was an amazing card. Leonardo's a bit of fodder. Gwyn's a bit of fodder. Di Maria Flashback, an amazing card. Rashford's such a popular card, right? There are so many cards in here to work towards, like flashbacks, end of an eras. That Troy Parrott is class from EA. The player picks, right? Do I think it's all good? No, but do I think there's a lot to like and a lot to enjoy with the game? And that's what we're talking about. I don't want to talk about the game being a best of all time game. I want to talk about you guys enjoying the game, because that's what I truly believe is important, okay? Evolutions are similar. There is there's been a lot of bad, but there's also been so much good. This El Capitan Evo, you guys could turn cards like this Ekatike or Gustavo that I've been Evoing for a while, who, to be honest, is awful, by the way. He's a funny card. But you guys could Evo these cards and turn them into, very usable starter cards for your team. A lot of the Evos this year, I've seen some of the past and present teams, and I think they're better than they've ever been. Not everything's been perfect. This has been overpriced, for example, the I'll Protect You Evo. But they've really done okay when it comes to some of the menu content. And trading has been great. Now, with trading being great, I'm talking about how low the market is and how easy it is to buy cards, which is a whole other issue we can jump into. And I think it's actually great to touch on now, because it is my one qualm with Evos and SBCs, right? If we take one player from this menu, I'm going to use Reinders, loads of them, work, right? And he's actually up at the minute because he was 28k, 26k. He's out of pack, so obviously he's up, right? That's how it works. But he is genuinely one of the best central midfielders in the entire game still to this day. And he's 30,000 coins, which means most of you guys, if you want one of the best central midfielders in the entire game, can just go and buy them. That's never normally the case, right? So I'm trying to spin it as a positive, and I do get that casuals lose coins on the players because of this, and that is awful, and that's what I don't like. Let me be very, very clear. EA promised at the start of the game for a slower power curve and golds holding more value, and they haven't, and that is bad objectively, and we can call that out, because when they promise something and they don't deliver, it is deserved to be called out, and we need to call it out, right? Do not get me wrong. I just think there's positives you can spin from it. Now, what that does mean is these SBCs, like, for example, Troy Parrott is 31,000 coins, and he's an amazing SBC that everyone loves, right? He did a really, it's like a fun SBC from EA. He's got Finesse Shot Plus, and we love that. But if you want to be a real critic, right, and this is actually one of the better SBCs, he's 30,000 coins as well. He's not meta, boys. Like, he's got Finesse Shot Plus, but he's not meta, right? I've lost the Reinders card. There he is. Basically, the problem I've got with SBCs is with how cheap the entire market is, I do get that SBCs are too overly priced, right? And if we use a better example, for example, Renyard, right? She's coming in at 71,000 coins, you can see there, right? Which is fine. It's not an awful price. But we take a look at someone like Marquinhos. Marquinhos is 10,000 coins, basically fodder price. And do you know who will probably play better in game, boys? The Marquinhos card. He's got Intercept Plus. A lot of pros like him. He probably has better links than Renyard. I mean, it's close with Herbie and French. But essentially, you don't need to go and spend 70,000 coins, even with fodder in your club for that Renyard, when you've got this Marquinhos here. And I do get that, boys. That is an awful, awful pricing from EA. But the problem is, if they make that Renyard 20, 30k, which is probably what it should be, then everyone will go and complete it. And then you've got SBCs that are too easy to complete with the fodder you get from Gauntlet. And it becomes a bit of a mess. So I do get it. But that is more EA, mess up with the pricing on the market, which is an issue. Let's address the issues, because there are quite a few. And again, boys, let me stress, this is not acceptable, okay? Severe Wilson going from 130,000 coins to what she is now at 25,000 coins. If you're a casual player, you cannot keep up with those coin losses. It is ridiculous. Your club gets demolished, especially if you spend FIFA points, by the way. If you spend FIFA points and manage to get together 200k and you buy her and someone else, and then it all gets taken away a week or two later, that is the most demoralizing stuff ever. And I think part of it goes down to, by the way, boys, these price crashes are mainly because there's less people on the game. If there's less people on the game, there's less people buying cards. So they naturally crash. So it kind of comes from like a different issue with people being away from the game for gameplay reasons and all sorts. But this, again, let's call it out for what it is. Not acceptable. So, right, we've gone through all of why the game is actually okay and why it is so bad in some elements. So what is the main issue? I did say at the start we have a main issue. And also, what is the solution? Well, let me walk you through both, okay? I think there is genuinely one main issue at the minute, which is why you're not enjoying the game as much. And I think there is one huge solution. Now, that huge solution I want to talk about is not the only thing that needs fixing. AI defending is not what I want to talk about, but boy, God, you've probably seen it in this gameplay. AI defending needs more fixing than it ever has. That is awful right now, but it is kind of what I want to talk about in the solution, right? You'll see what I mean. What is the number one biggest issue, right? For that, let me jump over onto what I prepared earlier, which is these three graphs here at the top, right? So we're going to start with FC24's Twitch graph, right? Why am I using the Twitch graph? It's just because it is a great way to see how many people are interested in the game at a very specific point in time. So FC24, right? Bit small, bit hard to see because obviously it's condensed over here. But what you will see is around this point in the game, mid to late November, you see this sort of low of players. It gets to a low of like 26 to 30,000, right? The lows are really important because obviously the high peaks here can be because someone started streaming and big content came out or whatever. But these low points here are like the consistent core fan base, right? So around this time in FC24, we had about 25 to 40,000 consistent like fans watching the game still, right? Jump to FC25, right? At the same point in time, it was lower, okay? It was like 16 to 30,000. Do you see that? Or even a little bit less. The lows are quite low, but it's like 16 to 25, 30,000 still, okay? Still quite a decent, consistent base, but definitely a drop from FC24 because last year's game wasn't great. However, look at FC26, right? Around this similar time. 13, 11, 12. The lower is again lower by 5 or 10,000 viewers. It is starting to like half in viewership. So that viewership is obviously just Twitch, but that will correlate to the rest of the game. It'll mean less transfers on the game, less people playing. And why is this the huge issue? Why are you not enjoying the game as much just because there's less players on the game, right? It is because with this, the skill floor gets raised. What does that mean, right? Well, if you've got less players on the game and there's only this many, I mean, this is not players, this is people watching, but it correlates, right? But what does it mean? Who do you boys think goes away from the game when these numbers go down? Do you think it's hardcore people that have played for years? Yes, sometimes, but as a majority, no. They'll stick around. They enjoy the game, right? It is casuals. It's people that only play for the first few weeks anyway. People that might come back at Team of the Year. They might come back at Team of the Season. And casuals, maybe you're a casual, you'll be worse at the game. You don't play it as much. That's fine. I'm kind of a casual when it comes to gameplay. I'm more menu-y, right? I'm still Division 2, Division 1, which I guess is not too casual. But again, I could be a lot higher. I could be pushing for Elite Div if I sweated gameplay. I'm on this game a lot, right? Point being is casuals leave and sweat stay. Now, what does this mean? It means that when you boys are playing champs, Gauntlet, Silver Tournament, Rivals, no matter what state the gameplay is in, no matter whether the gameplay is good, no matter whether the gameplay is bad, but what it means is the average matchup you're playing is harder, which means your average game feels worse. Now, if you've been getting better at FIFA or FC over the past few years, you expect to start winning more and more games. Do you know how demoralizing it is to play a game, feel like you're getting better, keep playing, practice, and then eventually start to lose more games than you're winning? That is happening to so many people in FC26 right now. And what it does is it does not negate the fact there's gameplay issues. It highlights them. So AI defending is a big issue, but you know what's even harder? Playing against AI defending from someone who is good at defending. If you played against someone who is good at defending with the current state of AI defending, now that is torture. That is awful. If you played against someone who's a bit crap, yeah, AI defending still, you know, it's okay. And you'll see from this gameplay here, the guy I'm playing is not great, boys. The guy I'm playing is not great. And you'll see I can cut through his defense a few times decently easily by not doing too much, okay? That's all well and good, but what is the solution? I did say I've got one solution, and look, put me on the EA dev team and we get the best game of all time. No. But seriously, I do think there's one kind of simple fix, right? Do you boys remember the start of FC26? I hope you guys were around for it, and you should remember, what was the game like, right? It was better than it is now, first of all, but what was it like? It was 12-11 score lines, but why? Because defending was difficult and attacking was fun. Now, does everyone like the game? No. People didn't like it that defending was very hard. People were struggling to not concede goals, and that is a big issue, right? And EA overcorrected, hence the state of the game now. But let me say this, right? Let's say the skill floor stays higher. Let's say there's less casuals on the game, which EA needs to bring back casuals. That's such a core point of the game. But let's say they don't, right? Let's say the skill floor stays higher, okay? Would you rather play against someone good at the game and lose 12-11 and score 11 really fun skill goals? Or would you rather play against someone good, get beat 2-0, not have a sniff, feel like you're getting dominated, feel like, why did I even pay for this game in the first place? For me, it's the first one, because what'll happen is when then you beat someone, you'll beat someone, you know, 12-5 and like a mad scoreline, and you'll score some insane goals. And trust me, that is not a perfect game winning 12-5 every game. But do you guys remember the start of FC26? Do you remember the fun of scoring goals? Do you know how that's been taken away? So I think if the skill floor still stays low, and obviously as well, if casuals come back, I still think they could do this. Just make it, like, push it more towards the first patch. I don't think it's rocket science. Push the game towards where the first patch was, where attacking is better than defending. People like to attack in a video game. They do not like to defend. Make attacking better. Okay, that being said, I do still have one big thing, boys, because I still enjoy the game now. So I'm talking about it like all like this because I do want the game to be in the best state possible, but I still enjoy the game now, so I can help you enjoy the game now. This, in my opinion, is the good news. You can start enjoying this game more. Whether you want to or not is up to you. You might not want to, and I can't force you to. Let me walk you through why I still enjoy the game, right? First of all, I trade. I want about 3 to 4 million coins on this account, all currently invested in, by the way, an awful investment. These have done awfully. So maybe I'm on about 3 million coins at the end of this investment. But anyway, I'm on like 3 to 4 million coins into the account. So I get to use some crazy cards, and I enjoy that. I've started from scratch. You'll see the FIFA points in the top right. That's just from Ultimate Edition. I get to use some cards like you've seen before, like Henry, Ibra, Eusebio, Hullet. I'm not going to go buy Gold Mbappe because I don't really care for that. But I get to use Maradona, Zico, Jairzinho. I enjoy the game because of that. Should you have to be a trader to enjoy the game? No. But I do enjoy the menus. The second one is, I love doing fun evos on players that will be out of my team in about 2 weeks because I don't care. You can see I'm doing an Ekatike one there from before, and I will happily put one of these evos on the Road to Glory account, or the Trade to Glory account, to our second account, on just someone in the club that I just want to evo because I think it's funny, right? I could go and put this on Muriel or Guardiol, or I could go and put it on someone else completely who's not going to be as meta, but I just enjoy using them more. Now, to be honest, doing that on defenders is not exactly ideal. You kind of want your defenders just to be decent at the game, right? But in my opinion, doing attacking evos on players that play for your club, I mean, it's not rocket science, right? People telling you to do fun evos, I get it. But go and do an attacking evo if you're a Wolves fan on whoever the fuck this guy is, and go and do that, right? Is he going to be meta? No. Is he going to be out of your team in a week? Yes, obviously. And what? The game has a much shorter life cycle than people expect. You're not going to play the game for 12 months straight. So go and do stuff for a week that you enjoy. Go and use this card for one weekend league. Go 7 and 8. Who cares? The rewards are average anyway. Rewards are not what you're playing for, though, this year. Imagine you score a banging finesse goal with him. That's what you'll remember in 2 weeks' time. You won't remember the fact you got Tonali in your best pack in the rewards because no one cares about that. You'll remember that you scored a finesse with Arak Dare. Who is this guy, by the way? No one knows. It doesn't matter, right? That's what I remember. I remember that skill goal I scored against the guy who should have beat me and then celebrated on him because I'm toxic. I remember that. So that's how I enjoy the game. I just do things for the week. I do things for the day. I don't think about how it's the most optimal way to run my account. And this is coming from someone who's unbelievably stingy. I always barely ever spend my coins. And still, I will go and buy a Maradona or an Ibrahimovic or a Zico. Why? Will I lose coins on him? Yeah. Yeah, I will. But I get to use Zico. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone's going to trade, but use that for you. Do you enjoy the menu grind? Yeah. Do you enjoy going and completing that Di Maria SBC that's currently out right now? And again, will not be very good in a couple of weeks because obviously the power curve moves. And, you know, you might go and do Park Ji-sung and maybe hit the power curve moves past him. But were you a Man United fan growing up? Are you from Argentina? Do you just like Di Maria? Then go and do it. Who cares? Yeah, you've not got Pina in your team. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you're going to lose more games than you win. It doesn't matter. The gameplay needs fixing. Yes, don't get me wrong. It's not perfect. And we need EA to go back to the first patch or change something. But just do what you enjoy. Make the game fun. You play for fun. COD's fun right now. Battlefield's fun right now. I really do believe FC26 can be fun right now, boys. Right, boys, I'm sure a lot of you will disagree. Leave it down in the comments. What are your thoughts? I just want to know what you boys think. I know a lot of people have fell out of love with the game. And if you do want some more coins to start trading and you do want to be like me and use some of the bigger end players, I'll put a video on screen. I don't know where it is. I think it's somewhere down there. And that'll be about, probably I'll put the 0 to 500k because that's a great video to go and watch if you want to start trading. But yeah, just let me know your thoughts. And boys, until next time, I'll see you all in a bit.